Thank you, Pierre. Free for All Friday. All kinds of great things happening in Flagler County, not to mention taking a big beating on changing Creekside. Originally, we're going to have Dan Angert in here and Mike Tucker talking about the chili war with the chili cook-off, but quick, fast changes that we got to do. Brian, welcome back.
Why are you getting a beating for it? I mean...
it's called money beating. Got a lot put into it to have to put it off, but it was unsafe, I felt, and and it was really hard because here we are out there getting things set up with tents and stage, and they're pounding them into the ground, and we got to, on a beautiful sunny day, make a call like that. So it better rain Saturday, and it better be nice on Sunday for the Pink Army Run, right, John Subers?
Thank you, David.
Okay, I knew. I saw the glare there from it. Anyway, in the studio, we have with us Will Furry, our school board chairman. Morning.
Good morning, David.
Hey, a small round of applause for Will. Can we get a bigger round of applause?
Oh, thank you. You know how to make a guy feel welcome.
That was just as good as the automated button.
I know. We should have an applause button in the studio for people to light it up, applause sign. Anyway, we're going to be talking with Dan Angert. He's our guy that keeps the jails going. Some great, cool stuff. He's got programs and awards, and so we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the program. But first of all, we're going to talk about the Pink Army Run. John Subers, you've been kind of the chairman of it for a long time, and you brought with us John Roten, right? Did I pronounce that right, Sean?
Yeah, Sean Roten, that's correct.
Okay, and you run the new cancer facility at Advent.
That's correct. I'm the director of oncology operations here in the Flagler County area, and we're happy to be here. Thank you.
So your office is at the Freytag Center. You must have a brand new office, right?
Yep, brand new office, and we're settling into that space and have some wonderful new equipment there that does a really great job for our community. So we're glad to be there.
So how important is this Pink Army Run? We've been doing it, John. How many years we've been doing
15,
it?
David.
15 years. Holy cow.
Huh. Yep.
Well, you started that when we started the radio stations.
We have been through a lot of years together.
Yeah. So how important? People know it. We've done a great promo. Michelle, Bart Ramey will talk with you in a little bit here, but we did a promo with all the girls, having fun with it and a lot of spirited amount to it. But how important is it to really? I mean, how much does it raise and how important is it? Does it stay here? What happens to the money?
Well, I'll start with certainly the Pink Army 5K was 15 years ago, and it was starting with a 5K, and it grew from there. And it's so much more than just a 5K. We have a Pink Army committee through just a bunch of community members that we have 26 events outside this September, really a year round, but mostly September and October, all raising a little bit of money from $100 to thousands of dollars coming to support our foundation and support going to our cancer. And we'll talk about a little bit of the proceeds, but it's all about the community. Will's here. We were in front of the school board just a couple weeks ago, the Flagler County Schools with Carrie Henderson and Don Foley. The cheerleaders are out there. The Starlights are out there starting us off. The Flag Corps, all 6 o'clock in the morning, join in getting our race starting at 7:45. We have just surpassed with the city of Palm Coast, a fabulous partner with us in the 5K for years, and we've just surpassed our 800th registration, which is the most we've ever had.
Wow.
So we'll have 1,500, 2,000 people out there. Talked to Jonathan Lord this morning, and I'm quoting him, it will be cloudy. A good chance there's rain throughout the day, but very low lightning, and it's only a little bit of accumulation throughout the day. So we are a go on Sunday morning. It's going to be a great time, and thanks to, many people that the community know, our co-chairs are Cindy Dalecki, Lacey Martin, and Danny Anderson, and their energy alone tells you how the growth of this through the committee. Our honorary starter is our own Reagan Hansen, who is just getting through her cancer journey and did it locally with Sean's team and some successes there. So we're honoring her, honoring a survivor. We have a dog walk, Pink Out Your Pet. So it's going to be a great community activity.
I think it's cool how you've turned it into a positive thing. I mean, because it's such a serious thing. It's devastated many families, breast cancer, and it's October. breast cancer, everything goes pink, and we see that all over the place. So there's a great branding and awareness of it. But I think when the community gets together with a positive spirit and having fun about it, but yet at the same time keeping in the back of the mind the people that we've lost and those that are going through the treatment right now.
Absolutely.
It's a great blend of enthusiasm to beat this thing.
And the money that has raised, and last year, just 2024, through all of those events throughout the year, but mostly September, October, including our 5K, we raised about $80,000 through our Pink Army, and it's dedicated to local. There's a wonderful national organizations that do a lot for breast cancer, but our money stays local. I'll let Sean talk about where he has accessed some of our Pink Army funds to directly impact our patients, but we work very closely with the Flagler County Free Clinic. Free Clinic has a great relationship with the hospital. They send patients over to the hospital to get diagnostic testing for breast cancer.
What age are you supposed to get tested? I hear it goes younger all the time. Sean, maybe you can address that.
Yeah, really early detection is the biggest key to it. So depending on what's going on in your family, the family history, and those kinds of things, that sort of changes those timelines and everything. So the earlier the better, and staying in contact with your primary care if there's anything coming up and making sure testing happens is very, very important. Early detection.
A friend of mine who's a guy had breast cancer, and he was like stunned by it. So it's not just I guess the percentage is highly tilted toward females, but guys also, right?
Yeah, exactly right. So about 1,800 annually, 2,800 annually are going to be diagnosed with male breast cancer, and 1 in 8 women. So the numbers are there. So the earlier detection for men, same exact thing.
Yeah, and but the earlier the detection is the whole name of the game.
100%. Yep, early detection, and we have a lot more chance of cure rate as a result of that.
So is there a DNA test to find out if somebody has a predisposition for having a higher chance of getting it?
Absolutely. We have genetics counselors on our team that do a wonderful job of doing that screening. And as a result, they can customize the plan essentially to target those cells or get ahead of the curve for the treatment and cure.
Okay.
So it's 1 in 8 women?
Mm-hmm, that's correct.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that high.
Is that what it's always been, or is it getting better or worse?
Well, so the science sort of changes over time as we get more people, participating in the studies and those kinds of things. But that's the rate as published for last year. So that's the current rate we're experiencing right now.
Okay.
But there are studies that if you detect it early, mortalities are certainly declining.
Okay. Well, as any cancer, whether it be colon cancer, just across the board, it's all about taking care of your health and getting your regular exams and doing the testing. And maybe men are worse at that than women as far as going to a doctor.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard.
And we're coming up on men's November is men's healthcare awareness, so there's a whole prostate plan we're coming to see you with, David.
We don't want to talk about that.
We're going to no shave November, so don't shave, guys. So no shave November, we're all going to have a beard.
All right. Okay.
Something scratchy.
Well, Will Furry, we're going to talk about the schools with you, but John said, hey, get Will up here because the schools are a big, important part of the Pink Army.
Well, we really love supporting this effort, and it's a great cause, and it's near and dear to my heart too. My mom is a breast cancer survivor, and even when we've ran it before, my kids have a pink shirt that says "I'm running for Nana." Cool. But as a district, it's something that our organization can help to promote and also participate. And everybody in our organization that does participate feels it's a way that they can support this effort. By training, they build their own teams, and they're running in these races. We have students that are volunteering, handing out waters. The ROTC is doing the color guard. So we're just proud to participate in such a good cause and an effort.
So, is it too late to sign up? People are listening now.
No, they can go online, pinkarmy5k.com. It's run out by now, but if you call me, we'll make it work. But we have a student rate at really $20 off, and it really is. It's not about fundraising for the kids. It's having them out there in healthy activity, and it's a family affair. So yes, they can sign up and come out Sunday morning. They can sign up as well, but package pickup right now, Community Center at the City of Palm Coast. And again, everybody's just a great, great partner.
Hey, Michelle Bartlett, can you wheel your chair up here? We've got her in the back of the studio. You can see her on the camera. Come on, wheel your way up to this camera here. All right, so tell me about the dog thing. I've seen people already, they've dyed their dog pink.
Yep, that's right. So it's Pink Out Your Pooch. So we want to make sure that we're making it really fun, not only for families, but a lot of folks, pet is a part of your family as well. So let's get them in pink tutus, pink anything, any type of outfit to really allow them to join in the fun too.
So they come out, so everything happens at once and it starts at the Advent?
No, we have it spread out, actually. So you have your race activities starting in the morning. You've got your hula hoop.
What time? Give us times.
Great. So 6:30 registration. 7:15 is the pre-race festivities. And then 7:30 we'll do our hula hoop, pre-race warm-ups. The race itself, the Pink 5K, starts at 7:45. And then the Pooch Prance, it's at the starting line at 7:55 a.m. So also we have the 1 mile pet-friendly fun walk that starts at 8 o'clock. And then 8:40 we'll do the winners for the Pink Out Your Pet contest. So, David, there's lots for everyone. Seriously, come out and join us. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Thank you for all your help on it. By the way, I got to tell you that Michelle came in and she goes, hey, we want to make a promo for this. And so I'm going to play it right now because we just kind of turned Michelle loose with some wild and crazy women in the studio.
Okay, let's do it. We're signing up for the 15th annual Advent Health Pink Army 5K and the 1 mile pet-friendly Pink Out Your Pet Fun Walk.
The Pink Army 5K, Sunday, October 5th.
It's a fun way to raise money for breast cancer awareness and screenings. And all students get a $20 discount with promo code FlaglerParent. Pick up your Pink Army packet now through Saturday at the Palm Coast Community Center.
Pink5K.com.
All right, people have asked me who is in that commercial, and
I want to know who did the little miniature teacup bark. That's what I want to know.
We had fun that day. I will tell you, it was all of the co-chairs. So Lacey Martin, Danny Anderson, Cindy DeLackey. They had a lot of fun in the studio. We were in here for doing a different interview at the same time, and they were in that booth, and it was just loud and exciting, and so much energy and so much pink. So thank you so much to those community volunteers for.
And
really
who did the dog?
Out.
We had to fake a dog bark. Who did the fake dog bark on there? I don't know.
I'm not sure who that was. You'll have to ask one of those lovely ladies.
Well, that's a pretty powerhouse team, including you, Michelle. But those ladies do an amazing amount of work in our community and bring a lot of people together. So
that's right. Thank you to them.
All right. Well, we got to move on. Any other final John Subers or Sean or Michelle or anybody about Pink Army? Give us some words of wisdom.
Oh, just thanks everybody. Thanks for the community for support and providing us the dollars to be able to support our future patients, not only with qualified diagnostic, but for other critical services and equipment that Sean's regular budget does not cover that we can cover, and we just bought shower capes.
Shower capes, yeah. They cover. It was a request from Dr. Marshall, and it was a need that was there. So it covers the bandages while they shower, so they can shower and continue on with their care.
It seems so simple, but yet it's so important, and part of these proceeds are benefiting that and being able to pay for those services.
And they stay local here?
Everything stays local.
That's a real big thing.
100% of the proceeds go to help.
All right. Yeah. Sean, final words from you.
Yeah, talking about the school participation, I think we'll have it again where two of the high schools line up and the survivals will walk down between the two groups of cheerleaders and ring a massive bell that we have for celebrating cancer. So anytime you hear that bell ringing, a cancer survivor or a cancer fighter is ringing that bell. So it's such a sweet sound that day. The more we hear that bell, the more encouragement it is.
And our own Reagan Hansen being our official starter will be the first one to walk the survivor walk among the cheerleaders and the starlights, and it's just a great activity, and she'll be the first one to ring the bell that morning.
All right. Well, thanks to you and to Advent for what you do for our community. We appreciate you guys. We're going to take a break. We'll be back talking about the schools. Will Furry is here to give us the inside scoop, what's really going on. Everybody bailing from the school board for different elections. We got one guy being drafted to Washington, Furry going for the big congressional seat. But we'll be back. We'll talk about that. How are we doing with Flagler County Schools when we return on Free for All Friday.
For your home to sell? Evolve Property Group is not your average real estate company, specializing in property management and real estate investors, navigating complex sales transactions, maximizing cash flow, managing tenants, rent collection, even evictions. Visit evolvepg.co. evolvepg.co.
At Dignity Memorial Providers, Craig Flagler Palms Funeral Home and Flagler Memorial Gardens deliver compassionate care, personalized service, and exceptional customer satisfaction. There are options for everyone and discounts for pre-planning. They're always happy to show you their facility. Learn more at dignitymemorial.com.
Your do-it-yourself website isn't cutting it, champ. ComcoastWebsites.com builds you a pro site in 14 days or less. Guaranteed. Don't love it, don't pay. ComcoastWebsites.com, because your website shouldn't look like it was built on dial-up. ComcoastWebsites.com.
Need help navigating through the mortgage process? I'm here for you. This is Mike Akialis with American Home Mortgage Group in Flagler Beach, serving the community for over 22 years. Call me, 793-5435, or find me online at michael.mortgage.
Don't even think about climbing that ladder.
We got a guy that'll do it for you.
If you're going to do it right with Benjamin Moore.
We've got the professional painters and the best paint.
Benjamin Moore, corner of Old Kings and Utility Drive.
Palm Coast.
Locals know where locals go.
NFL football is back and it's at Johnny D's. Every single game. Happy hour 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day and $4 shot specials on game days.
Johnny D's Beach Bar and Grill. We're waiting for you.
We're back, Free for All Friday. Kind of a fun, crazy morning. Well, you know, we had Creekside people lined up. The soccer collies were coming into town to play soccer with kids, and they were going to bring the dogs in and do that. We were going to have Noah's Landing come in, and we're going to have all different Charlie Cracker, the guy that Staley chases around with his moonshine still, but we'll save it for February. However, one guy who sticks with us through thick and thin, Dan Ingrid, he is, your title right here, Court and Detention Chief. Is that correct, Dan?
That's correct.
All right, very good. So we're going to find out. You do all kinds of cool programs with the jail, so we're going to talk about that and a bunch of awards you have gotten and things, and you really deserve credit. And all the guys, everybody, and the women that run the jail, and I have no idea what goes on every day in there, but you could probably do a reality show.
Oh, I'm sure I could do a reality show.
Okay.
Tell us one crazy thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. We had quite a day yesterday. I'll just leave it at that.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll dig more. So we'll give you a chance. We're going to talk to Will Furry, so you have a chance to, but we're going to come back to what the day was yesterday. All right. Anyway, Will Furry, thanks for coming in.
I'm glad to be here, David.
Okay. You've, stepped up. You're to be our chairman of the school board. Seems like you brought kind of sanity to it. It was all over the place before, and seems like a lot of good things have happened as you're the chairman on it. So how are we doing?
We're doing great, David. Lots of great wins for the community, for Flagler schools, and our Flagler families. Back in 22, when I was elected, the town wanted transformative leadership, and that's what I brought. And when I arrived there, I recognized several things that we needed to solve and help lead that charge from our leadership roles to our finances, to our spending, and of course our academic outcomes. And we're winning on all those fronts.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have so many great kids that never make the news in the Palm Coast Observer. They only anyway, just kidding you, Brian.
We try to include as many as we can.
Over almost 13,000 kids.
Yeah, so many good ones, without a doubt. But, we did a cool thing that we were going to do at the Creekside every year, the Flagler County Cultural Council, FC3. And, Jay, you're the president of it, aren't you?
Well, I was the co-chair up until our annual meeting. So we just elected a new slate of officers, which is exciting. Always like to see new leadership. So I remain on the board, but not as an officer. But yes, that was a great event. We really enjoyed that.
Who's the new chair leadership?
So the new chair is Danielle Anderson.
Good for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah,
She's everywhere. Or what?
She is. That's awesome.
Between both Jay and Danielle, I run into them everywhere.
She's a star.
I tell her she needs to get a job. Anyway, so we were going to do at the Creekside Festival. It's cool. It's like we've done this 2 or 3 years in a row. It's a photography contest with the high school kids. Right?
That's right.
And a lot of great pictures were on display, and And Brian, I was wishing you would have been there because you had to vote. They give you a thing to put into a cup on the picture you think is the best. And I'm like, I don't really know that much about photography. Like, what makes a good picture? And I kind of Googled it a little bit, so I kind of got a little bit. Mm-hmm. But you're a professional photographer, right? You've won awards for photography and that. But so, and they were all over how would you describe the diversity of photos that we looked at, Jay?
Well, first of all, we had, 30 plus entries, and it was the full range of everything from nature to, just individuals. And it really, it's tough to describe because it's so subjective, right? Mm-hmm. So many different topics. But what really did amaze me, and I can't wait to hear what you pulled and what you're going to share on what you can look for. But it was really interesting to think about how the student, the photographer, what they were focusing on, right? What was going through their mind. Mm-hmm. And we didn't get a chance to have those conversations, but that's something I would want to find out myself. Mm-hmm. So tell us more about what. Well,
to me, not knowing anything, other than sometimes you see a picture and it kind of it just stops you in your tracks, and I'm like, well, what is that? What is it that just, it could be a picture of a person, or it could be a hummingbird, or, it could be anything from diversity, and they were all over the place. Mm-hmm. Some of them were black and white, and I chose, not knowing anything about it, so don't hold it against me, the one, it was like the picture, it was a black and white picture of like an old house that was kind of weathered, and it had like 3 like bedroom windows, I thought, kind of across the top. And it kind of drew me into it to like, wow, like what happened in this home over all these years? Like what families lived there? Like, what kids lived in those, bedrooms, and what were their lives, and what happened? So it drew me into it because I had questions about the photo.
It's like a picture that was mine. Says 1,000 words.
There you go.
Which actually was never said. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Confucius, it came from Confucius. I know this. Confucius actually said, a picture is worth 1,000 pieces of gold. And that was the original one. But all these thousands of years, it got passed on wrong as being said a picture is worth 1,000 words, when in fact a word is worth 1,000 pictures.
Well, we set the record straight right here on Free for All.
Love.
How about that?
How many pictures can you make with the word love?
Right.
How many? So it's actually reversed, but it's lived all these years wrong because it's been verbally passed on wrong, not in writing. So,
well,
anyway.
I do like how each one tells a story,
yes.
right? And it's up to us as the person who's looking at it to interpret what that story means. So, professional photographer, give us more.
What would you look for is what I want to know, Brian.
I'm thinking of the things that I have sometimes taught, like photographers tell them what I'm looking for, and when we take the pictures, which is kind of like a little different from like an art contest. But I think one thing that all really good art does is makes either the familiar feel unfamiliar, kind of make it new, look at it in a new way, mm-hmm. or sometimes especially with photojournalism, you're trying to make something that's kind of unfamiliar to people and help them understand it by making it feel more familiar. That's kind of one, one key that I do. But I think that, all art is about communicating. So that piece of art communicated a lot to you, that house. It might not to everybody else, but like you said, it's all subjective. So, mm-hmm. At some point, it's kind of it's hard to take it too seriously, like art evaluation. But I think when you have a chance to look at it more closely, I think it benefits everybody to appreciate it in a different way. And somebody else might not have seen that in the picture you saw, but
well,
I
looked in the cup.
They do.
I looked in the cup like, I thought, well, maybe I should put one in this poor kid that doesn't have any, But then I was like, well, no.
That's a famous art critic
I
move.
know. Well, that's a dad, looking out for these kids that, I don't want somebody to. But anyway, we did vote, right?
We did.
And we have some winners. And did we put up $1,000 for prizes?
Yeah, so
I think we did. Well, all I know is I brought 1,000 cash, so I guess it was from us.
Yeah, so let me go through with you real quick because
Okay.
yes, there were definitely some cash awards, which was really nice. So as I mentioned, there were over 30 entries, and in first place is Isabella Cuccinello. So she was awarded or will be awarded $300. Second place was Jordan Carnelli, and Jordan will be awarded $200. Third place is Braden Rowe. Braden's going to receive $125. Fourth place is Annabelle Murray. That's $75 for Annabelle. And fifth place is Abigail Minder or Minder. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. $50 for Abigail. And of course, then the People's Choice, we're going to hold off on that until the Creekside Festival, the rescheduled date in February. And that is a $250 cash award. So everyone really did a phenomenal job, and we're so appreciative of Angela Biggs, obviously, who's the fine arts instructor at FPC, because really she has been so instrumental in driving this and ensuring that there's so much excitement and education around this program. So we're grateful to her and all the students who participated.
Yeah.
It's really hard to quantify what the arts do for our lives and in a community, and that's why it's sometimes really hard to have financial backing from different institutions and things like that. But there's no doubt that it enriches us and enriches it makes us sometimes look at things differently. We can become better people, improve because of art. So I think that it's great what FC3 is doing and bringing more awareness to it. Having a contest like that, it gets people to think and talk about it. And again, it's hard to put a dollar figure on, what does that mean? But it definitely is something that I think we need to be supportive of.
Is it uncool for a newspaper reporter to use their cell phone to take pictures?
I have won first place awards with a front page news photo from my cell phone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's amazing. You can just have it wherever you want. And the photos that we take with our phones now are more megapixels than, expensive DSLR cameras 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I think no shame in it. And I think that, it's just making it better and better to be able to have it accessible anytime you want.
Well, let me ask you this, if I could, in 30 seconds or less, AI and how that is impacting creativity with photography and art. You have an opinion there?
Well, I think that as with any industry, I think you have to not ignore the advances in AI, but use it as a way to overcome the mundane tasks that you normally would have to do. But of course, there's going to be a human element. The human creativity is always going to be the heart of art. And the hard part with art with AI is that it's harnessing all the art of the past to create new art, supposedly create new art, without giving any credit to the people who they are harnessing. And so that's kind of where it's, ethically kind of a challenge for a lot of people who care a lot about art now.
Well, let's give the kids another, give them some more credit here. Jay Shear, if you can name them off one more time, and then we'll take a break and we'll come back. We're going to talk about the schools and the Green Roof Inn and a few other things. So go ahead. Let's give a credit.
Absolutely. Happy to do so. First place, Isabella Cuccinello. Second place, Jordan Carnelli. Third place, Braden Rowe. Fourth place, Annabelle Murray. Fifth place, Abigail Minder. And congratulations to each and every one of them. And of course, People's Choice will be taken care of at Creekside. Matter of fact, also at Creekside, you will be able to see all of the photography that was entered into this contest. So congratulations, one and all.
All right, that'll be February 7th and 8th. All right, well, anyway, congratulations, all the kids from the high school. From that, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back. We'll be talking with our court and detention chief, Dan Engert. Also, Will Furry will check in on the schools and what's going on. Doge, what kind of waste and fraud have we discovered in our Flagler school system? We'll get a scoop on that. When we return on Free for All Friday, and Brian McMillan back from being off last week. Good to have you.
Navigating through the mortgage process? I'm here for you. This is Mike Akialis with American Home Mortgage Group in Flagler Beach, serving the community for over 22 years. Call me, 793-5435, or find me online at michael.mortgage.
In a world where personal service and people who really care about you can be lost, we want you to know we are different. We love engaging with our clients. That's just how we've been since 2008. Your milestones in life and business are our milestones, and we are with you every step of the way. We can do everything that big banks do, but we add the community banking touch. If you're already one of our clients, thank you. And if not, we would love to be your locally owned community bank. I'm Laura Gilveri. Welcome to Intracoastal Bank, member FDIC.
Member FDIC, Laura. Intercoastal Bank. Appreciate you, what you do for our community, getting everybody the money they need and investing in our future here in Flagler County. Good local community banks. That's what we like, right? We like local.
Right on.
All right, local newspaper.
Yep.
All right, local schools.
We bank with Intracoastal. The Observer does.
Oh, do you? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, great. All right, Will Furry, we were kind of teasing a little bit about what's going on with the schools. Financially, are we okay? Everybody else is crying.
Yeah, better than ever, actually, over at Flagler Schools. You know, the interesting thing about the way schools are funded, we don't get to set our own millage rate. A lot of people don't realize that how we get funded is based on there's a required local effort that comes from the property taxes. But then, so some people think, oh, when properties go up, you must be getting a windfall or of sorts. But in fact, it doesn't work that way because the state resets us on the back end for our funding to do our budget. So we're always working within tight constraints.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
on the thing, you said tight constraints and everything, but you said there's a Doge thing going on in the school financially. What's that about?
No, well, what I was referring to is that was one of the efforts that I made before Doging was actually a thing when I was elected. And, where we really succeeded, when I arrived, the previous administration had spent down the reserves down to a 1 percentage point of the state coming and taking over our books. So we were not in a really good place when it comes to our reserves. So we refocused the effort, and as it was reported recently in the Observer, we are now up to $11 million in reserves. And, $11 million is a lot of money, and it sounds like a lot of money, but in our world, each payroll that we have twice a month is $5 million every payroll. So that is just basically covering 1 month of our making sure that our faculty and staff are paid. Mm-hmm. The other thing that did prior to me coming on the board, every year the school had to take out what they believe is called a tax anticipation bond. It's basically a loan that you take to cover your expenses until the tax money comes in. And we were paying $100,000 every year in interest on those bonds. We have not had to take that out since I've been on that board. So that's the importance of having healthy reserves, because you can imagine year after year after year, eventually you're over $1 million in interest that you just went out the window that sit in the general fund.
Did you get, I know you don't want me to bring this up, but we do anyway here, right, Brian? All right, The $750,000 you got scammed out of by some crafty scammers on the building thing with a contractor and a fake bill, and they did it very well with the PO number and everything. And did we get any of that money back?
We got a little bit back thanks to the sheriff. It wasn't a significant amount. And, that was a fraud. We were defrauded and this was a targeted hit across the state. Fortunately for Flagler Schools, though, it did not hit our general fund. That would have been really devastating. It came out of our capital account, and that was within the budget of the Matanzas addition that we had this. Those monies were kind of set aside. And, you know, one thing that we have done since then to offset some of that loss is some great financial moves going back to that is we have a bond out there that was taken out to fund a few school buildings like Rimfire Elementary and the GSB and some others. We refinanced that, and we actually saved over $600,000 in interest there. So, you know, that was almost like call that a recapture. But you know, we've been making some really strong financial moves at Flagler Schools. And about saving, just to give an example, when I arrived there was this software called Let's Talk. And I was like, what is this software? And they went on to say all these amazing features it could do and da-da-da. And I said, well, are we using any of those? No. And we were using a very small portion of it that we actually already own technology that could do the same. And that was $50,000 a year for that software. So immediately cut that out. And these things eventually snowball over time. And you can see that even though we are in a time of vouchers and tight budgets, we as a school, because we have been fiscally mindful, have been able to build back our reserves in the face of that. So that's a great testimony to the organization.
What kind of big capital projects are on the horizon for the Flagler County Schools?
Well, I can tell you about some of the ones that we have completed recently. Some big ones. One was the Matanzas edition. That was over $20 million. Much needed, added student stations, an amazing media center, a state-of-the-art carpentry shop, and that was focused to our classroom to careers. That was a big deal. And that was a neat one because I actually approved that and saw it completed during my term. And that's really quite a fulfillment for a board member to see something like that. But we also did the wellness center for our insurance pool. We have our own doctors on property where our staff can go to. We also took over the courthouse in Bunnell, and that's now our engagement center. We're housing several programs that were scattered about the districts, bringing more efficiency. And there's others out there. But these were major successes for our district.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Very good. You know, the perception with the voucher system, are we bleeding students to homeschool and charters and things like that, or is that overplayed?
It's a bit overplayed. Our enrollment numbers are in alignment right now. We did see a little dip in the last school year. You know, I look at that and I knew that time would only tell this, and it could go either way. But vouchers, when they came out, it's almost kind of like the new restaurant in town. Everybody wants to run over there and try it out. You know, and once you get there, you make your decision, you go back to your old favorite, you stay there, you move on. And I think we're starting to see that even out now. Now, when you see the voucher numbers out there and you say $17 million is going away from education, the reality is that some of those students never enrolled in Flagler schools. So although they do show on our budget, it was not like they took that money out of our budget and we wouldn't be getting those dollars anyway. So it doesn't look really good the way they do it. We've asked the state to change the way they report that because it's not very transparent to the community on exactly on who's getting the vouchers and who's not.
So in other words, someone maybe moves from New York to come here and they were never planning to go to Flagler schools in the first place, and they're just continuing their homeschool education, and they're getting a Florida voucher now. But in one way, it looks like Flagler schools just like lost that money essentially.
Correct.
If you're only looking at how much.
If you're just looking at the budget and seeing the line item, it looks like all that's coming out. And, you know, but right now what we're seeing too, you know, we're getting creative and we're looking at education more as a business in the sense that our parents are our customers, and they have choices and options now. We're not the only game in town, but we're starting to see, because we're participating in the I guess call it exchange for homeschool, and we have hybrid students that are doing both homeschool and taking classes in Flagler School and participating in our extracurriculars. So parents are finding a way to do both, and we're able to recapture some of those dollars by offering these classes to homeschool parents. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be education is going to really now be dictated by what the best design the parent thinks for their child.
Okay, I was driving in the other day, and I heard on our radio news a soundbite from your school board meeting, and I thought it was very compelling. And Mark, can you cue that one up? Let's play it, and then we'll comment on it. Okay.
The only reason that we're not mourning dead kids today is because he didn't use the gun, and nobody knew, and nobody could have stopped him because we don't have weapons detections at the doors.
Earlier this month, Flagler County Sheriff's deputies arrested a 15-year-old FPC high school student after he allegedly carried a gun on campus, then pointed it at another student during an off-campus confrontation at McDonald's in Town Center. At last week's school board meeting, one parent used that case to highlight what she called gaps in security. Flagler County resident Catherine Chee tied her concerns to a personal tragedy, the 2024 Appalachia High School shooting in Winder, Georgia, where 4 people were killed and 9 wounded.
September 4th for me was so impactful because that was the 1-year anniversary of the shooting at Appalachia High School. It was my alma mater. A student brought a gun to campus and killed 4 people. And they evacuated the kids. I will save the gore because I know we have children here this evening. And the parents asked for the board to install metal detectors, any kind of weapons detection, and they did not. And I don't know their reasons for not. But a month later, a second child brought a gun to school. And by God's grace alone, they caught him before he entered the campus. And he had every intention of using it. He said he wanted to be a copycat. There was not even grass on the graves of the dead kids yet. And the parents begged and pleaded, please do something, have some kind of weapons detection. Because if his book bag hadn't come unzipped on the bus, they wouldn't have caught him either, and they would have had more dead kids. So they finally approved metal detectors. They made it work. They figured it out. And then 3 months later, a third kid brought a gun to school, and the metal detectors stopped him.
She said Flagler's demographics mirror Winder's, 2 high schools, 2 middle schools, and fast growth, and urged the district to act before it's too late.
If it could happen in Winder, Georgia, it can happen here.
School board members said the request will be reviewed in future workshops. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Rich Carroll.
All right. Well, what you heard that. You were there. What the review, where are we at?
Sure. Very, very powerful testimony, and I feel for her emotions. As you may remember, I actually toured the Parkland building before they tore it down to learn from some of the mistakes that were made there on that campus. So safety and security has always been a high priority for me and really for everybody in our organization and the board. And we are, actively in discussion about this item right now. And it's not, metal detectors are just one technology. We're really looking for weapon detection systems, and there are many different possibilities that we can go to. So we are having those discussions right now. It hasn't come to workshop yet, but we just had an executive session. It was just recently reported also on the Observer that was part of the discussion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where do you stand on the issue?
Well, I can't really say specifically because this is going to be coming before the board to vote on in the future, right? So, but Volusia County has been implementing them. Other districts have been implementing these type of technologies. So that's great because we can actually learn from what's working down there and perfect on it. But one thing that we are also doing at Flagler Schools, we're working on prevention. We are looking at students that may not be behaving in a way that aligns with our student code of conduct and that are habitual or may pose a danger to the general student population. And those students are still being educated, but they're being offered it in an alternative way, whether it be through our Rise Up program or through iFlagler or through Homeschooling Assist. So we're trying to be preventative. The metal detectors is a deterrent because it's the element of potentially being caught with your weapon. But there's also, as I learned in Parkland, mitigation, and there's another option out there too, which is the Guardian program, which we have previously discussed as a board, and that there is a board member that wants to bring that conversation back and will likely come up in another workshop. But that involves potentially arming our faculty and staff. There are other models of it too where we don't do that, but that's in collaboration with the sheriff, and there's a lot more conversation to be had about that.
Maybe poll the students, and see what they think. If they're like, sure, go ahead, we don't care, or like, yeah, I'd feel safer, or no, I think that's a bunch of baloney, we don't need to. I mean, I'd be interested to see what the students' feelings are about that.
Well, definitely would take that into account, but we are the elected officials here, and we're speaking for the community and what the needs are. And honestly, I think kids should be focused more on learning, getting educated. Let us take care of the scary stuff, right? Let's let them just be kids, and we'll make sure they're protected.
Okay. All right, Brian, you had something?
Well, I just was curious how this conversation about security, and it's kind of similar to like bullying or concerns with buses and things like that. How does that impact? How are those conversations impacted because of the increase of vouchers? Like, is there some sense of a little more maybe urgency to address some of those things? Because it's like, well, if we don't, then this is the type of thing that can scare people away from public schools. That's one of the reasons why people might choose alternatives.
Well, I don't think those are the motives. Always, we're working to end bullying and create an environment, a great learning environment where our students, our faculty can feel safe. No kid should feel as if they're scared to come to school, right? And unfortunately, kids will be kids, but we do enforce these bullying claims, and we're getting more reporting. We're seeing through our website, we have communication channels there where you can report bullying, and we're seeing more of people reporting because we're responding. And when people know that they're being heard and there's action being taken, then they'll report it. And but when it comes to vouchers, that's just an option that a parent has, but that's not what's fueling us from trying to stamp out this problem.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. Thank you for the update on schools. But we have in the studio, that was Will Furry, by the way, if you just tuned in, our Flagler County School Board Chairman. I'll give you a chance to give a little 30-second plug for your congressional run at the end of the program.
Okay, perfect.
All right. and then after that, we charge you.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Well, I want to know, we have also in the studio, very patiently waiting for his turn, our court and detention chief, Dan Engert, and welcome.
Good morning.
Well, we did a little tease you did, said something crazy. I want to know, what happened yesterday at the jail that you didn't want to talk about?
I still don't want to talk about it. My staff just had to deal with a couple of very volatile situations involving one individual's highly intoxicated, another with some severe mental illness, and so it was.
So this was a check-in. It wasn't inmates are already there. Or?
Yeah, this was inmates that were in custody, and so they had a. It was a long day yesterday.
So every day is different for you.
It is. Right now, in just a matter of a couple minutes, it's going to be impossible for me to just talk about all that's going on.
Well, we're going to give you more than we're going to go long, so don't.
Okay.
Take your time here. I want to know about these things.
So this week, my staff, and they are phenomenal. Just really onboard staff that just can pivot, and they do a lot of things well. And we couldn't run the programs that we run without my staff who foster a positive environment for inmates to, whether it's vocational programming, whether it's treatment programming. It starts and really ends with my staff. And so this week, we've had to make emergency transportation arrangements for a kitten. We have a deputy right now who's in the Flagler Technical College with a group of inmates in an HVAC class. I've got a deputy right now who is applying vinyl graphics to a semi-trailer for Flagler Technical College's CDL program. We have a deputy right now who is in our SMART program, and he's monitoring SMART program. And then the deputies are all handling the regular housing assignments. So in any given day and week, they're doing an awful lot of very unique things in the jail that people probably just don't realize in the community.
Well, so this is your world, what goes on there. And I want to talk about some of the awards because we see some of the press releases and they all don't get as much attention as they should. So brag on yourself and your staff a little bit here. What were some recent ones that come to mind?
Well, let me just say it starts with our sheriff. He is an extremely innovative individual, and he has a passion for what he does. And when he recruited me from New York to come here into Flagler, his big emphasis was I don't want the jail to be a warehouse, and I want the jail to have an impact in the community by improving inmate outcomes.
Weren't you like a city manager or something?
I was the town supervisor, in Western New York and in Niagara County, town of Somerset. So I've worn some elected official hats over the years, and my passion is jail administrator. So you have, I imagine, and I was so impressed with this, what Dad's Inside Out program, where, explain that. That is so cool. Yeah, I mean, we couldn't do what we do without the partnerships in the community. And that was another, message that I, received from the sheriff was that we need to, improve partnerships in the jail. So we have partnered with Parkview Church here on Belterra Parkway. A great organization. Pastor Greg has been just openly willing to just want to really dive into ministering at the jail. And so the Inside Out Dad program, a group of men from Parkview went through training, leadership training, and then they facilitate that course. And that course has 12 different modules, talks everything from reuniting with children's mothers. It talks about financial. It just really is a very good program to teach dads how to be better dads. And many of them didn't have good role models for a father, and so that's been a really great program. We have Parkview comes in on Saturdays, and so there's an actual church service on Saturdays that the inmates can attend, both male and the female inmates. And that started with a program that Sheriff Staley had talked to me about. He had been in discussions with a sheriff in Texas, and we started the Joy Beyond the Walls program with Parkview, and so we reunited two of our treatment program inmates with their children as part of Parkview's project where they purchased gifts for children, and so they had a special bonding session with their kids while they were in the program. And that's for the inmates that were on our treatment program. So
your program of it's basically you're teaching guys that got into trouble that you have an obligation. You should love this and reach back out to your family and your kids and take an oath that I promise I'll be here from now on. I will be your dad and apologize for whatever happened in the past to it. But I'm wondering, like Will, in the schools, shouldn't there be like a class for young men, like starting from middle school to high school, to teach them about how to be a parent, how to be a dad, how to lead a household, how to be a mentor for your own children or something? Is that crazy?
Well, it sounds like a great idea. It's not necessarily something that we directly offer as sort of a structured class, but mentorship is a place where this often happens. We do have great mentorship partnerships, like with the African American Mentorship Program, Take Stock in Children. And we invite the community to really help step in and fill that void, because let's face it, fatherless homes have really been part of the cause of the breakdown in society. And you bring up these examples, and it's wonderful that people are going to minister and encourage these men to say, hey, you can be the one to break that cycle. Yes, you had a bad situation before. You don't have to pass that on to the next generation. You can have a funeral for your past and start over today and make a difference for the future of your own children.
Mm-hmm. So do they, how do you select who's going to be part of these different programs that you have, Dan? You've got vocational programs, you've got, and meanwhile, these are incarcerated people, mm-hmm. right, that yes. are in the jail in the Green Roof Inn. And so how do you communicate with them? How do you offer it or recruit them or whatever it is.
Yeah, and so sometimes that's our biggest challenge. We have, only a certain segment of the population is going to be eligible for that. Our violent offenders, those with high, violent felonies are not eligible for those types of programs. Our focus is really on those inmates who mostly have addiction challenges, and they're going to be going back into the community. Mm-hmm. That's really what our focus is on. Our focus really is not on those who are going to be going off to DOC for long sentences. That's not who we're focused on. We're focused on those that we can reach because we know they're going back in the community. 90% of my population will go back into Flagler County. And so we want to prepare them to be successful and to be, improved individuals when they leave the jails, and that in turn improves our community.
In a way, aren't you a mentor to these guys?
I take a very active role, particularly in the treatment program, and so some would probably say that, it's not intentional, but it's just, comes by nature of, it's when you get involved in things and you want to see it successful, you become, you get invested, and so I would say that I'm invested in that. Yes.
When you use the word addict, actually, Pastor Solano, who we help with his open door recovery program and everything, he made a statement I thought that was pretty profound. He says, when you think of an addict, you think of, a junkie under the bridge or, whatever that. But he said an addict that wants to recover and wants to get well is a totally different bird. He didn't say bird, but a totally different person than somebody that's just an addict. You have to separate them from it because they're asking for help. They want help. They respond to it, and you have to look at them differently and help them.
Mm-hmm. We do, and and that goes to fundamentally, when you talk about selecting for the treatment program. Sometimes they're court ordered, but oftentimes they want help. And so, I always look for, when I'm interviewing those individuals, you have to have the gift of desperation. Mm-hmm. That is a gift to someone who wants recovery. They have to be at that point in their life where they are desperate for help, and they're desperate to do what they need to do to become successful. And then, if they have that, that's the first step in their journey. And then, we provide, the tools and the toolkit and, all of the resources that are available to help them be successful once they graduate. So,
do other county jails do this? Do they care like this?
Many jails do provide programming in their jails. We're unique in the sense, at least in Florida, in my experience, we're unique that we have a full-time, our treatment team is in the housing unit with the inmates. So we separate our treatment inmates, male and female. They have their own housing unit. And the facilitators, the clinicians, the counselors, they do their programming right in the unit, and that's partly because we're creating a recovery community for those individuals in there, and we want them to eat, breathe, sleep, drink, recovery while they're in custody. But it also helps my staff, the deputies, because they don't have to, take inmates to programs. The programs come to the inmates, and that, reduces their, having to, spend a lot of time moving people around. So, so that's just one aspect. I mean, we have, like I said, the partnerships that we have with Epic Behavioral Health, which is our treatment partners, Flagler Technical College, going back to our GED. I mean, we graduated, our first GED graduate was in 2022 with Flagler Technical College. And since then, we've graduated a number of men and women from the GED program. Like I said, we've got right now an auto body collision program going on, partnered with Celico's Body Shop here in Bunnell. We've partnered with Beachfront Grill for our culinary program. We've partnered with again, Flagler Technical College for our HVAC pre-apprenticeship program, our electrical pre-apprenticeship program, our vinyl graphics program. Again, all of the vehicles that you see with the sheriff's insignias on them, that whether they're trailers, cars, patrol cars, those are all applied by inmates in our vinyl graphics program. So, on any given day, we have quite an industry going on at the jail, and whether it's treatment, whether it's vocational, and then just the regular duties that, we manage, the population of, not often the most healthy population either. It's a quite an interesting day, but again, we want to provide an opportunity for the deputies to feel like they are part of something, like there's a purpose for them. It's not just a place where they come and, clock in and clock out, because detention is a difficult profession. I mean, they are dealing with, and they are, basically, doing a sentence, 12 hours at a time, with these individuals. And so, when we give them, all of these programs and they see changes and impacts that they can have, and on inmates who don't come back, it gives them a sense of purpose, and hopefully that leads to, stability in our workforce, because that's another challenge that we all face. So, there's a big, reason behind what we're doing. It's not just, improving inmate outcomes, but it's also, we want to make sure that our staff, are fulfilled and have purpose when they come and they put their uniforms on and come to work every day.
So I got a few texts here. Ask him about the kitten program.
Yeah, well, that's a great partnership that we have with the Humane Society. We started that this year, and we have a kitten fostering program for our female inmates who are in treatment.
Why just female inmates?
Well, I can only do one thing at a time, David. We are going to be furthering our partnership with the Humane Society for the men as well. Right now, the men are doing they're building shelters for the dogs, outside shelters. So when they bring the dogs out in the morning to clean the kennels inside, the dogs have shelter outside. So they are participating right now in that aspect, but we are going to have another one that I don't want to prematurely announce yet. I'll leave that for the sheriff to do. But
come on,
we're working on
come on,
that.
He won't mind.
Sounds like Sheriff Staley talks so tough about the Green Roof Inn, but it sounds like he's a softie when it comes to all these programs. No?
Well, his preference has always been to, he is definitely a law and order sheriff. There's no question about it, and I can assure you that is the case. But he also understands and recognizes that the majority of the individuals that he arrests in Flagler County and goes to the Green Roof Inn are going back into the community. And so we've got a responsibility and an obligation to impact that. And that really goes to, our part and our role in crime reduction is there's a significant, 58% of our inmates that graduated from our SMART treatment program have not reoffended and they've not relapsed. Mm-hmm. And so those are, that number alone is, about 200 inmates that have not come back into the jail that otherwise would have come back into the jail.
Which is a huge impact on safety in the community, that these programs succeed. Like, everyone benefits from them, all their neighbors and everybody around it. So,
So we were originally going to talk about chili for the Creekside Festival and your jailhouse chefs that you have there for culinary, and you're teaching them to be chefs and work in the service industry and everything.
Yep.
But when Staley's on the show, he goes, they get bologna sandwiches, and they're not all beef, and a slice of cheese.
Well, that's a typical evening meal, no doubt about it. But our culinary program, that program, they learn how to cook restaurant food, and then in turn, my night shift deputies, get a meal.
So they're not cooking for other inmates.
No.
Okay.
They practice and they prepare the meals under supervision of the chef, and then my night deputies, who normally don't get fed, my day shift deputies get fed. The night shift doesn't. We don't have the kitchen open then, but during those 2 nights out of the week when that program's running, the nighttime deputies really enjoy that because they get a very high quality meal.
Well, you have won the chili challenge against the firefighters for how many years? For 3-4 years?
Well, we've won all 4 years since you started it, and in fact, when
they're not happy about that.
No, they're not. Each year they get a little more upset, I guess.
They say Staley cheats. So this year we're going to have a professional judges. We're going to have the People's Choice, and we're going to have professional chili judges with a blind taste test. So if you win both of those awards, then
we will. I mean, there's no question about that.
And I'll say, we do also have a culinary program, so get to ours before you have to go to the one in the Green Roof Inn.
Okay. All right. Well, we really appreciate you and everybody. How many inmates at any given time on an average are in the Green Roof Inn?
Our numbers have actually gone down. Again, in comparison to the crime reduction numbers in the community, our numbers have gone down. 2 years ago, we were averaging just under 300 inmates a day, and today we're in the 200 range. So, in fact, in 2 weeks, Sheriff Staley and I will be traveling to Mobile, Alabama, and we will be receiving our second National Institute of Jail Operations Innovative Facility of the Year Award. And so we won that in 2022. In 2023, we won the American Jail Association Innovative Facility of the Year. So we've had the two preeminent national organizations that represent the jail industry have awarded us some awards for innovation. And that's just a testament to what Sheriff Staley's done with the whole agency, and particularly the detention services division.
All right. Okay. Awesome. I've enjoyed the conversation. Dan, any questions for Chief Engert here before we let Will Furry do his free commercial?
No, it's amazing what you guys are doing there. I mean, again, you think about the impact it has on the neighborhoods and the community and the families. Like, I've known people personally who have gone to jail with addiction issues and have come back and are doing great. And I've known people who have gone back into jail because they couldn't, quite get over that hump. And so, talk about the impact on the families. I mean, financial devastation, ruin. And, so the fact that there are those programs there, I think that it hopefully gives the rest of the community hope that there's improvement going on in people's lives because of those things. And I just say bravo.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we had a SMART graduation this week, and it was really interesting. 3 guys that graduated all said that landing in the Flagler County Jail was the best thing that ever happened to them.
It's amazing, right?
So to hear that,
to see that, yeah.
So we're doing our part to represent the sheriff's office well and to improve our community.
Still not a recommended course.
No.
Yep.
Right.
All right. Well, Dan, thank you. Appreciate you coming in this morning. And yes, we went way over time, but time well spent. And I didn't want to cut you short because you and everybody, what you do for this community,
thank you,
deserves that. All right. So who's all bailing on the school board here for, we got Derek, who Trump called him up to Washington. He's out. You're quitting.
I don't know. Bailing and quitting is not an appropriate term. I intend to finish the 4-year term that the people of Flagler County gave me. My term ends November of 26, and I will fulfill that promise I made to the community. And Derek was appointed. That was quite an honor by the president to serve in the Department of Transportation. I think most people would have taken that appointment as well. But that is opening up 2 seats for the school board that won't have an incumbent. But there are 3 seats up, but one is held already by Christy Chong, and I believe she's already filed to run for re-election.
So Derek Barr's, his seat will be filled by appointment until November 2026.
That's what the hope is, because right now we're a 4-member board, and ideally it is healthier to have a 5-member board. That's what it's intended to be. But
the governor could decide not to.
He could. I mean, it's really his decision if he wants to let it run to the next election. Last time we got a pretty quick appointment. I'm hoping for the same, but it is in his hands.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Here's your you ready?
Yes, I'm
ready.
ready.
I'm going to give you a music bed. Okay. All right. Ready?
All right, David.
3, 2, 1.
All right.
Take it away, Will Furry.
David, I am running for Congress, Congressional District 6, because I believe this district deserves a leader who lives amongst them and has solved real problems. But most importantly, I'm running because faith, family, and freedom, the values that built America, are worth defending. I'm going to fight for a strong economy. I'm going to help with parental rights and education. I'm also want to fight to have a strong border. But most importantly, the people of Congressional District 6 deserve a leader who reflects the heart, the values, and the strength of this community. My campaign is not about politics. It's about the will of the people. And I'm asking you to send me to be your next congressman in the upcoming election.
All right. Well, very good. That was pretty good. That was a little over 30 seconds. But.
Okay. Well, thanks for the extra time. Are you going to bill me for that?
No, next time, though, we'll charge double.
Okay.
All right, Chief Danager, thank you so much. And for everybody on the Flagler County Sheriff's Department, Rick Staley, we really have a blessing here. Brian, you're good, and have a good weekend, okay?
Yes, sir. You too.
Will Furry, take care.
Great being here.
All right, everybody. Be safe. Be kind.
Good morning, baby. How are you? Got a half hour, a quick shower. Take a drink of milk, but the milk's gone sour.
Serving Flagler County for a decade and a half. WNZF, 1550 AM, 94.9 FM HD3, and W235CW Bunnell.